Our second day begins in a legendary place and at one of the most iconic monuments in this country, which is the marvelous Potala Palace. The initial construction dates back to the 7th century, but it has been rebuilt multiple times over the years until reaching its current form. If you notice, the temple is built on a hill which is commonly known as the Red Hill, and it is located at 3,700 meters above sea level, which makes it one of the highest palaces in the world. And that's why, in 1994, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization declared it a World Heritage Site for its historical, artistic and spiritual value. That's why it's no surprise that so many people are interested in coming here to take pictures, even dressed in the traditional clothes of Jokhang. And many of them also bring their 50 yuan bills, because the palace appears on one of the two sides. And if you ever have the chance to come, you can't miss the opportunity to take the picture, just like all of them are doing.
It's incredible, isn't it, Mitzi? I didn't know that the Potala Palace was on one of the sides of the 50 yuan bill. It's like we're starting a collection of places we visited that appear on bills, because the town of Yangshuo, where we used to live, appears on the 20 yuan bill. It's a shame we can't go inside, but don't worry, because last year we had the chance to visit the Songshanling Temple in Shangri-La. And its nickname is actually Little Potala because it's practically an identical replica of this palace but in a smaller version. Now, it took us hours to visit that place, so just imagine how big this palace must be. Here we leave you the video in case you want to watch it.
This is the typical traditional clothing of Lhasa. Shizan is very big, so depending on which region you go to, you'll find different outfits. For example, this one here is another one. Are these clothes rented?
Yes, we rented them for 50 yen.
50 yuan?
Yes, but we rented it as a group. You came alone, but you can rent it too.
Even though we can't go inside, we can walk around the temple, and I understand it's a very beautiful walk. So the next thing we're going to do is go down, walk around it, and explore the whole tourist area where filming is allowed. Something very interesting about this temple is that all the white paint you see is made with milk, lime, honey, and clay. It's a technique that was used to preserve the paint, although they have to touch it up every year. You should also know that only 20% of the temple is accessible to tourists, and the rest is reserved for the monks who still live inside. In fact, there's a room in the heart of the temple, which is the main one, where the king used to meditate. Let's see how far they'll let us go. This is the Red Hill I was telling you about. It's over 3,700 meters high, and interestingly, it has the shape of an elephant. I don't know where you'd have to view it to see the shape, since it's not obvious from here. Supposedly, that's very symbolic for locals. But at the same time, building the temple on a hill represented many challenges, since the Tibetan architects had to design the palace to follow the natural shape of the hill. And if you notice, it seems like the temple is almost an extension of the mountain. You can't see the foundations anywhere. And it's as if suddenly the base of the mountain transforms into an impressive palace. But this union is not a coincidence. For the Tibetan architects, this represented the union between heaven and earth, and that's why the red and white colors, so characteristic of Potala. On the other hand, in the heart of this hill there is a cave where Songtsen Gampo used to meditate, who was the one who ordered the construction of this temple in the first place. And it's that natural grotto of 27 square meters that's the oldest core of this whole complex. What do you think of the view from here? We're not even at the highest part of the palace yet, and the views of the city of Lhasa are already impressive. And besides, it's a view that has changed a lot over the last 20 years. Because where you see apartment buildings and even industries today, there used to be nothing. It was a very small, almost uninhabited town, because of the challenges involved in building at this height in such a remote place. Now we have arrived at Dayanshar, which is the last place where taking photos is allowed. But at the same time, it was a large ceremonial courtyard where public audiences and welcome ceremonies for foreign dignitaries were held in ancient times. And from this point on, taking photos or videos is no longer allowed in order to protect the paintings, murals, and all the historical objects that are inside. Let's say this is a transition area that marks the boundary between the public area known as the White Palace and the sacred area known as the Red Palace. And looking at the structure, I find it impressive that it has survived for so many years despite being in a seismic zone. And that's because this is a hill made of granite rock which provides it with an extremely stable foundation. In fact, modern engineers were extremely surprised when they realized that this rock acts as a natural shock absorber. During the earthquakes that frequently occur in this area and can reach up to 8.5 on the Richter scale.
My city, Guangzhou.
Wow! Your city is in Guangzhou, we live in Guangdong, we live in Shenzhen.
Close.
Yes, very close, 1 hour, we live in Baobab, 1 hour to Guangzhou.
Tourism here.
Tourism here, it's very beautiful, we love China.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, it's so nice to know that you speak Spanish, it makes us happy.
Do you speak Chinese?
Yes.
You too? Ah, good.
A little.
A little.
But your Spanish is very good.
Thank you.
And did you go to the University of Languages to study Spanish?
2 years?
2 years?
You study for 2 years.
And did you go to Spain?
Yes, last 2 years. May and Madrid, Valencia, Toledo.
Toledo?
She is from Barcelona.
It's very beautiful.
Super beautiful. To Mexico. I'm from Mexico. She's from Barcelona.
Mexico, Barcelona, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Greetings. Is that tea with milk?
It's butter.
Is it yak butter tea?
It's not tea.
Oh, is it for lighting candles? I thought it was to drink. Ha ha ha. Well, thank you. Goodbye. What's that? It's yak butter.
It's for the offerings.
So it's not for drinking, right?
No. Later on, you'll see in the temple that they light candles with it for the offerings.
And that's what they use? Oh, thank you very much. I thought they were drinking tea, but no, it's yak butter that they use for their offerings, to light the candles in their offerings. We're about to go in, and from this point on, hats are not allowed, and recording is not allowed, which is a shame. But we also have to respect the rules. We'll see you on the other side and let you know how it went. We're coming out of the area where recording isn't allowed, and what we saw inside is indescribable, because you see people coming, excited to get to know their heritage, many of them with offerings. Like the family we saw before entering, who brought their thermoses with yak butter, and once inside, we understood what this butter is for. They use it to light the offerings, to light it. I'm from Mexico, very young, yes, thank you, no, well that's it, very young, yes.
Is it in Russia?
No, it's Mexico.
Ah, Mexico.
In North America, below the United States.
Mexico.
Are you Tibetans?
No, we're from Shenzhen.
Ah, because of your clothes, I thought you were locals.
Yes, the clothes are local.
Well, have fun.
Give me your WeChat.
Okay.
Do you do business here?
No, I'm here recording videos.
You're an influencer?
Something like that.
Do you have a girlfriend here?
I have a wife.
Are you already married and everything?
Yes. Should I introduce you to my wife? Seriously, my wife is here. Is your name Jason?
Yes, that's me. My name is Jason.
Nice.
I'm from China. Are you from China? Did I say it right? My pronunciation isn't the best.
You know how to say goodbye?
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Gracious means thank you.
Thank you, goodbye. Wow.
See you guys. We've never had so many people come up to talk to us in Spanish, and they were all so friendly with everything, even the camera. And like I was saying, what we saw was impressive. We were really moved to see that people come with so much interest to learn about their heritage and to leave their offerings. But what impressed us the most was that there was a monk who spoke perfect English, and we started talking with him. And if it had been possible, I would have stayed there for an hour to have yak butter tea with him, but there were so many people making offerings. And I'm also surprised by how similar Tibetans can look to Latin American people. For example, one of the most traditional hairstyles in many parts of Mexico is braids and very long hair for women, which is also very traditional here. Honestly, when you see, for example, the grandmothers, you think of Mama Coco from the movie. It's a fascinating experience that I think no one should miss at least once. You should be able to come.
It's very beautiful inside. I was really impressed by the level of detail in the decoration. But what impressed me the most was seeing the monks using cell phones. And also, especially in an environment like this, which is exactly where you would imagine a monk to be. And the funny thing is that you often find these monks in airports and train stations. Many of them were also meditating. I saw them reciting. I don't know if it was scriptures or prayers, and I was wondering, how is it that they don't get distracted with so many people passing by because they're there doing their work and they don't even look at you? I also found it very curious that there were currency exchange booths all along the way. People would go and exchange their larger bills for 1 yuan bills. Because you can make offerings all along the way, and people are constantly meditating and praying.
Standing at the top of the palace, it's impossible not to notice that there's a large crowd of birds flying over the area. And it's no coincidence because there are many different types of birds that are connected to various local legends. Such is the case with the sacred ravens, which are considered by the locals as a symbol of protection. And there are even legends that say there was a giant raven that originally helped build this palace. On the other hand, there are the pigeons of Lhasa, which are animals respected by Tibetans, and they never chase them away because they represent a symbol of peace. And last but not least, there's the black kite, which is also known as the Himalayan bird. This bird is a raptor with a forked tail that circles overhead, which for the locals represents a good omen.
We're now on one of the rooftops or terraces of the palace, and they've set up a small cafe here. The menu isn't very extensive, but it's really nice. And of course, there are some benches here so you can sit down, take pictures, and enjoy your coffee peacefully, which is exactly what Mitzi is going to do.
Who would have thought that on top of the Potala Palace there would be a cafe where you can come and enjoy the views that not only overlook the city and the mountains, but also the palace itself. Today we have one of those rare opportunities which don't come around very often to travel with a Spanish-speaking brother, Brian, from Argentina. Brian, how was your experience in Lhasa?
Let's see, what surprised me the most is what we're doing right now. We're having coffee right here. I live in Beijing, and whenever I went to second or third tier cities, it was like the best coffee you could find was a Kentucky Fried Chicken or something like that. But here there's a coffee culture. I mean, it's full of coffee shops and everything. And that's what really surprises me, that in a city like this, there's so much coffee to begin with, right? But what this capital city represents culturally is that combination of history, culture, and religion, which makes it so unique.
Had you been here before?
No, never. It's my first time, and it was one of my top 3 places to visit in China.
It's like a dream, isn't it?
It's like a dream, yes. You see, even before I came to China, I saw photos of other students who had come here. And it was like, oh, they went to Lhasa, they got to see the Potala Palace. And well, after almost 16 years living in China, it became possible.
In 16 years, you must have seen most of the country, right?
I still have some autonomous regions left to visit. For example, what I visited the most is the coast, which is the most populated area, but I was still missing quite a few autonomous regions. And well, I still have Xinjiang, Guangxi, and Ningxi left, but honestly, I think this is one of the first autonomous regions I've come to. Another thing that really surprised me is the level of Putonghua, of Mandarin that they have here. It's a very high level compared to other regions or provinces. Honestly, I think the level of Mandarin they have here is really good.
Yes, most people speak it in hotels, taxis, businesses, and so on.
And they speak it very well, even though they have their own language. And that's surprising because sometimes they have an accent that's very hard to understand. But honestly, that's not a problem here.
What would you say your expectations were before coming?
Well, the first thing I wanted to see was exactly what we have right behind us, which is the Potala Palace, right? And one of the things that at first was, why can't we do it? Filming inside wasn't allowed, right? But looking back, it actually turned out really well. Because you pay more attention to the details, to what the tour guide is telling you, and you're not so worried about recording, taking pictures, what you can post, and so on. You get more immersed in the experience itself, in learning. The food also really surprised me. I was maybe expecting more vegetarian options. I didn't imagine there would be so much yak meat, like we say yak meat, yak meat. I knew there were many dairy products like yogurt. They're really good and tasty, not too spicy, but you can add spice. I like that too, even as an Argentinian who enjoys spicy food. It's really tasty, especially the hat-shaped buns.
I saw you were really excited about the momos. You were really excited.
Excellent, excellent.
We're leaving the Potala Palace, we're going to have some lunch, and then we're going to walk around downtown. Which is what excites me the most, because that's when you can see how people live, how daily life unfolds in the city center.
And where you can go shopping.
We've finally arrived at the city center of Lhasa. Let's take a walk down a street called Bakor, but not before stopping to eat some of the delicacies you can find here in the city of Lhasa. But well, having the chance to walk through the city center is something amazing because it's a unique place in all of China, different in everything, from the clothing to the language, the culture, the food and the scenery. You walk around Lhasa and there's no way not to know where you are. Just look at how beautiful the architecture of the area is. That's a temple we're going to enter later, but I want you to notice how most people walk clockwise around the temple. That's part of the culture, and many of them carry their prayer wheels, for example, that lady who's spinning hers right there. Many also carry their rosaries and wear their traditional hats from the area. What I like about walking around here is that we can see in its most authentic form how people dress, how they look, and what they do for a living. Probably many of the elders we see here don't speak Mandarin, so it would be difficult to talk with them. I'm sure that many of them speak only Tibetan or one of the other dialects from the area. Like yesterday, when we met a girl who spoke another dialect completely different but still from the Xizang region.
The clothing from Xizang often consists of wearing a coat that has 2 sleeves just like any other, but for some reason they cross it over and take the sleeve off their arm and let it hang down. And I've seen that a lot of people do this not just with Tibetan clothing, but also if they're wearing a down jacket or something like that, they wear it the same way. I didn't expect people to dress so uniquely in their daily lives. I thought you would find, well, the usual, like grandmothers who do dress like that, but that the rest of the people, I don't know, middle-aged people would dress like us, with a jacket, with jeans, and the reality is that most of them don't wear any of those clothes.
And look, what an iconic view. You see people passing by praying, people with their prayer wheels, traditional clothing, and in the background a Pizza Hut and a Kentucky Fried Chicken. Of course, they couldn't be missing. Those have made their way into the most hidden corners of the whole world. The alleys are beautiful. The architecture of Lhasa would amaze anyone. And honestly, it's just as beautiful as cities like Paris, Madrid, or Mexico City. Look at these typical Tibetan hats, they're really nice and we've seen quite a few people wearing them, but I imagine they wear them more when it's cold. There are also the bells and other things and the Tibetan shoes too. Honestly, there are a lot of similarities between Tibetan culture and some Latin American cultures.
Let's say they have this here, and we in Mexico have the Sahuayo shoes.
There are a lot of people who look like they're dressed for a movie set. But there are so many that obviously you realize that's their everyday clothing. But from the accessories to the hats, the dresses, the men's clothing, the way they carry babies, everything looks as if they were extras in a movie. If it's like that in the center, I imagine the surrounding areas must be even more incredible, especially for someone who's never been here. Now we are at the Jokhang or Jokhang temple, which is one of the most important temples in the Buddhist religion and whose name translates as the House of Buddha. This temple was also founded in the 7th century by Songtsen Gampo. And one of the features that makes it so special is that every year thousands of Tibetan pilgrims come here to perform prostrations. Now what are prostrations? You've probably already noticed that around the temple there are many people making a movement in which they kneel, lie down on the ground, move forward a little and then get up again. Well, this movement is known as a prostration and it's done as a symbol of devotion, since the locals believe that each of these prostrations helps them purify bad actions they've done in the past, or in other words, to cleanse their karma, if you want to see it that way. And the ideal thing in a pilgrim's life would be to do 108 laps around the entire temple in a clockwise direction. Obviously, this is quite a challenging task since we're at more than 3,600 meters above sea level, and a full lap around the Jokhang temple is about 1 kilometer long. So, for an average healthy young person, it would take about an hour without stopping to complete one lap. So we're talking about 108 hours of their life. And in the case of an older person, it could take up to 2 or 3 times longer. In fact, there are many people who spend months and months completing their prostrations, especially as they get older. And there are also prostration marathons in which, not challenges, but goals are set, for example, to complete 108 prostrations within a single month. But something that has really impressed us is that it's not only healthy people doing it. Earlier, we saw a young man who was missing a leg and an arm. And even so, he found a way to perform his prostrations to cleanse that karma. But of course, not everyone can do it. Sometimes there are health problems, or you simply don't have the time available to come and complete the whole process. And for that, there is an open area right in front of the temple where many people can perform their static prostrations. Those still count. And as a local saying goes, time measures minutes, but faith measures eternities. And for many people, the process is much more important than actually completing the 108 laps. Honestly, seeing people with so much devotion is extremely inspiring to me and one of the many reasons why you should visit Lhasa. Many people have to use protective gear because it's a very demanding challenge. From being under the sun at 3,000 meters above sea level to sliding so many times in a single day. Also, count them, it's 3 steps for each prostration. Just imagine how much time that must take.
I think it's something we can apply to many areas of your life, having that determination to achieve your goals, whatever they may be.
Do you speak English?
No.
But do you speak regular Mandarin?
Of course.
Have you done prostrations?
No.
Never?
Can we take a picture with you?
Sure. Do you have a phone? What does your tattoo mean?
It's my name.
Just your name?
Yes, Zhao, that's right.
Oh, very well. Another thing you'll see all around the temple are many benches where elderly people or older folks sit, often pilgrims who are taking a rest. Because the prostrations can be done throughout an entire day, for example, in rounds of an hour. They sit down to rest and then continue on their way. And this is where I was telling you that here people do static prostrations. I also saw that it can be a family activity. For example, you can come with grandparents, uncles, cousins, and everyone starts doing prostrations and dedicates the whole day to it. You'll also notice that many people walking around the temple are carrying a kind of rosary. This rosary is known as mala in Sanskrit or as trengwa in Tibetan. And the pilgrims use it while they circle the Jokhang temple to count mantras or prayers. And that's because each bead represents a repetition of a mantra, for example, the Om Mani Padme Hum, which we all know. And each mala has 108 beads, which is the sacred number we mentioned earlier. So each complete round of the mala equals 108 prayers. But in addition, there are many devotees who fill several malas in a single round at this temple. And the idea is that they have to synchronize the movement, moving one bead for each step they take, which is why they require absolute concentration so they don't lose count. Each mala is unique and the materials have a lot of symbolism. Sometimes they are made of yak bones, amber or coral or lotus seeds. And each one has a special meaning for each of them. Another way to pray while walking around the temple is by using prayer wheels that many people carry with them in their hands. These are spinning cylinders made of metal, wood, or leather which contain rolls of written mantras. And it is believed that by spinning them clockwise, you are releasing the prayers into the universe, just like the large prayer wheels in the monasteries. In short, each rotation of the wheel is equivalent to orally reciting the mantras contained inside it. But in addition, there are different types of prayer wheels. Some are manual, and there are also portable and automatic ones. Around the temple, you will also find many places where you can buy your malas in case any of you want to pray. And anyone is invited to walk around, as far as I understand. The most epic graduation photo in history. Brother, did you just graduate?
Exactly.
Where did you graduate from?
From Fudan.
Fudan in Shanghai. And how did you come so far?
Where are you from?
I'm Mexican, she's Spanish.
I'm Chinese with mixed heritage. My dad is Chinese, my mom is from Russia.
So you speak English too, right?
Yes, I also speak Russian. You all speak Chinese very well.
No, not at all. We still have much to learn.
Nonsense.
Are you traveling?
Yes, I'm on my graduation trip.
I see. I really like your clothes. Congratulations, congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you. Have fun. Same to you.
Goodbye. Apparently, our new friend was both Russian and Chinese. And he studied at Fudan University in Shanghai, and for his graduation trip, he asked to come to Lhasa. What more could you ask for? Just look at these hallways. Now, what we're going to do, what is it, Noelia? This is the next activity.
We're going to wear zangfu, which is the traditional clothing of Shizan.
Hello, do you speak Chinese?
Yes, we speak Chinese.
Our store specializes in Tibetan suits. Lhasa, Rigaza, Shannan, Ando, Nachu, Linchi, Chandu. If you like to wear more or fewer layers of clothing, we can prepare it for you without any problem. This one, for example, looks very nice.
Of all the traditional clothing stores we've visited in China, this one is the most special because most of them are divided by dynasties. But in this store, the clothing is divided by different regions of Shizan. And as we told you before, this is a very large province with a great cultural diversity. And the process is different because in this case, instead of putting on the outfit first, they're doing my makeup and hair. So I don't know what kind of hairstyle they're going to do for this type of clothing, but we're about to find out.
As Noelia said, here the clothing is divided by regions of Shizan. Each one has very different characteristics according to the traditions of each town. When Noelia is picking out clothes, it's like choosing a movie on Netflix. You scroll and nothing convinces you. So I think this time she's going to let people make recommendations as she walks around here. One of the things that has caught my attention the most is the hairstyles that women use, because most of them have braided hair and many men also have very long hair. And after asking some locals, they told me that women usually wear 108 braids, which is the sacred number in Buddhism. But apparently devotion is not only reflected in actions like prostrations, but it also becomes a part of their clothing and their identity. On the other hand, in Tibetan Buddhism, cutting hair can be seen as an act of renunciation. Many women let their hair grow very long and after several years they cut it as an act of renunciation and devotion. On the other hand, tight braids also protect the scalp from the cold and from ultraviolet radiation, which is much stronger at this altitude. But beyond braids, it's also very common for both men and women to wear their hair very long and sometimes even in dreadlocks. But this has nothing to do with a lack of cleanliness. It's actually part of their culture. Especially among the nomadic shepherds, who usually don't untangle their hair for months, letting something form that they call loch and we know as dreadlocks. In addition, many Tibetans usually rub their hair with yak butter or different oils to keep it hydrated in these conditions, which can get very dry. And many of them don't undo their braids or wash their hair until very important events such as the Tibetan New Year, which is known as Lhasa. Right in front of one of the most important temples in Lhasa, there's a lottery ticket shop. Let's go in and try our luck. Hello, I'm here to try my luck. I feel like buying, bro.
There are 30 and 50 yuan options. Which do you want?
Give me the 30 yuan one.
Let's see. Which one of all of them?
How's your luck today?
Luck is good.
Ah, great. Being in Lhasa, it couldn't be any other way. Let's see. 30 yuan for a lottery ticket.
Use this to scratch.
Which one do I have to scratch?
All the little things.
It's already coming out.
No, not yours. Ha ha ha.
Ah.
Now scratch the ones on top.
There's no prize here.
We're not lucky. There's none.
How do you know?
You didn't win since both numbers match.
So there are two identical numbers, for example, 24 and 24. So there are 3 pairs of 2 digits.
Yes, you only missed one here.
And this one? Give me one for 20 yuan.
This one here.
Okay, oh, how lucky. $14. $17.
Scratch the ones below.
Are there none left here?
Scratch them all.
Wow, I won.
Not at all. Did I lose again?
What do I need to win?
17 and 14. You have to match those 2 pairs.
Let's see. Give me another card. You need the numbers from here. A 14 and a 17. Get both from over here. Does this one work the same way?
Exactly. No, it's different.
Really?
It's very different.
Well, I'll take this one. I like dogs, thank you. Well, we didn't win anything, but great idea putting the lottery tickets in front of the temple. I'm sure there will be someone who thinks they have a better chance of winning after walking around a couple of times. But in our case, we played 3 times and didn't win a single cent. We brought the lottery ticket here to see if Noelia has more luck than I do. I've been walking around and around the temple trying to talk to people who aren't praying. I don't want to interrupt them. There are people who, even though they speak Mandarin Chinese, have a very strong accent and I have a hard time understanding them. And there are also some older people who don't understand Mandarin at all. And honestly, I feel a lot of frustration being in a place so rich in culture with such different people, compared to the place where I grew up, the place where I've lived, and all the places I've traveled to in China. And not being able to communicate, not being able to ask them questions. The language barrier is really very frustrating, but it's a great motivation to keep learning. Noelia, I brought you a gift. It's a lottery ticket. You have to scratch it. If these two numbers are like your base numbers, if you scratch here and you get either of those two, you win. 9 and 18. If you get a 9 and 18, you win. Scratch them all.
My luck ran out when I met you. Well, it took a while for them to dress me and everything, but they were very professional and had so many outfits that I ended up trying on several. Another reason why it took us a while is that the color of the extensions they have is black. And as you can see, my hair is lighter, plus I have highlights. So I just went out and they told me like, hey, your extensions are really dark. And I was like, yeah, it's because they don't have any other color.
This has happened to her in many places in China, since they always have black wigs, but she still looks beautiful. We'll take the best photos of her here at the temple. I loved how the signs for the public restrooms have the traditional clothing of Lhasa, both for men and women. And obviously also the characters, both in Mandarin and in Tibetan. Very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Where are you from?
From Mexico.
Oh, Mexico.
In North America?
Next to the United States.
Yes, just below. We speak Spanish and they speak English, and you speak Mandarin. Excellent. See you later. Have a good time. Today has been pretty busy, but you can already start to feel the effects of the hours. We're exhausted from all the walking, and we're heading to another place. So we're going to sleep early. But this is where today's video ends. See you tomorrow in Lingen.